Hello and welcome. My name is Amit Kumar Sharma and I'm happy to have received this response to my application for the role of principal. I hail from the city of Muzaffarnagar in the state of Uttar Pradesh. My father, Mr. Anand Prakash Sharma, got retired 12 years ago from BSNL as a senior accounts officer. My mother, Mrs. Kusum Sharma, is a homemaker, and for many years she did play a role of an entrepreneur. My elder sister, Kajal Sharma, is leading her happy married life, and her flair, her talent for memorizing any data is praiseworthy. I have got a younger brother, Akash Sharma, and he carved out his own niche in the real estate sector, and he has continued in his own arena successfully. Now, I like to talk about my professional background when I started my career as a professional. I started my career some 22 to 24 years ago with two top-notch companies that operated in almost, I think, 85 countries. I believe so. The first company I started my career with, it is Convergys. Even today, it operates today more than 100 countries, I believe so. So my job was to train the greenhorns who did not know how to communicate using the language of English, who did not know how to speak satisfactorily. Our clients were Brits, Canadians, Japanese, Australians, and Americans. They had no idea how to influence the people who are sitting miles, thousands of miles away from them, and only telephonic conversation was possible, and you need to impress those people with your communication and impeccable skills. I trained all of them on the language of English and communication skills. So those greenhorns transformed into somebody who could speak English without any hesitation, flawlessly. I was happy working with Convergys, and I changed this organization. I joined other company, Wipro, our own Indian conglomerate, Mr. Azim Premji's company. And then, after years of working rigorously, satisfactorily, I worked really hard and I learned a lot from these two organizations. However, I decided to resign because I was not willing to work late into nights. I really could not succumb to my own temptation because money was present, but working late into the nights could not be changed. And I wanted to change that. I was not a nocturnal. So I decided to resign from the organization, and I came back home and I decided to become a teacher. And I joined one of the finest schools in my vicinity, Golden Heart Academy, as a teacher. They welcomed me into the organization as a teacher. After some time of my teaching experience, they were satisfied with my work, my profession, my ethics. And I taught class 5th, I taught class 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And most willingly I taught. I wanted to derive the pleasure of teaching. What exactly happens when you teach class 5th and when you teach class 12th? Or do you teach class 8th or do you teach class 10th? How the dynamics change, how your pedagogy changes, how do you make your lesson plans, how do you transact inside the class, how do you bring the whole world into your class? Because it became a milestone later on. If you do something honestly and you give yourself adequate time to learn, then your learning becomes your stepping stone. And it happened to me. So I feel today when I'm making this video, I feel happy that I understand the psychology of a teacher. From being a teacher, I became an observer in the same school, then elevating my standard, elevating my position in that fraternity of teachers was not only giving me satisfaction of my work, but also instilling in me confidence. Little by little, I was gaining ground in my own world. It is really vital for a teacher to go slow and steady, learning every bit of the idea. After some time, I worked with Golden Hand Academy for years. After that, I became a vice principal with other school, and I elevated my own kind of credibility, and people started working with me. They started calling me as a trainer. Even I was training people outside my school. And then I started working with the GD Goenka as a teacher, head of department English and teachers trainer. GD Goenka is a benchmark 5 school, latest technology, innovation, and everything a teacher can think of. The scenario, the paradigm shift that I saw there, I felt really chuffed. With the infrastructure they had, we were not only working physically, but we were putting in our efforts online teaching methodology, and we were using latest cutting edge technology, and I became a popular teacher with all the fraternity, all the students, and I produced wonderful results working with GD Goenka Surat. After that, my current job, or I should not say current job because I have resigned from KIIT International School, and during this time now I would like to talk about my own qualifications. I hold a degree in literature. I'm an MA. I do have B.Ed degree. And apart from that, I did something that my inner voice inspired me to go to Calcutta in 2015, and I earned my TESOL and TOEFL certification, 120 hours in class certification, and it put me in a different pedestal. It means I wore a different mantle. I visited various schools in Kolkata and I taught there as my practical examination. And it was a fantastic experience. Various teaching methodologies were taught. I tried to soak them up and understanding the Indian environment, Indian ecosystem for education. So it was a brilliant and wonderful and memorable impression that got etched on my memory lane. And before that, in 2012, something wonderful happened. Resonance quota, PCCP division, they chose me to be a participant from across India. 800 participants were called by Resonance, PCCP division. It means it was pre-foundation career care program from class 5th to 10th. And I had an opportunity to, bring about the changes that I feel, and I was able to get it through. I was able to send it through all the people who were the participants. It cemented my position as an educator, and Resonance quota gave me a certification that 15 days we were transacting amongst the people who were the participant in those days. And it made me evolve from my then position as a teacher. Now I come to the next question. I would like to summarize total years of experience as a school principal. I have worked as a principal for 4 years. 2 years I successfully not only earmarked my own time that I could invest in teaching sometimes, and I could derive the pleasure. I could also know that what the other teachers are teaching. So it gave me an impetus. It gave me a kind of sense of trickling down effect. If principal is teaching, the other fraternity of teachers, the rest of the teachers, they feel inspired that he comes to our class, he speaks to us, and he keeps holding meetings, and he wants to elevate the whole academic structure. And then this pyramid structure that we usually call upon in a cliched manner, it starts working fantastically. So next question, any experience leading a school through CBSE affiliation or inspection? I directly did not do that. I never wore a mantle, that I was not a leading person who was getting the work done. But I did play a role. However, the documentation was not done by me. I did not maintain any files, but I was a part of this affiliation team. I did look after the people who came as an observer, and I know what happens in these scenarios. Next, your approach to improving student admission and retention. Now, this is something that I'd like to highlight a few things here. We have got two teams. The first team is a public relation officer, and this team works outside the school. It creates the image of the school, and the principal is the pivotal figure here. He trains them and tells them that how you can propel the ethos of a school in the community outside the school. So as far as the image of a school outside the school, they work outside, the admission team works inside the school. So what do we need? What does a principal need? A principal attracts, woos, convinces the outside people, the prospective people who can put their words into our school. It means we are creating a terra firma. We want them to come to our school. We would like to be an usher. So as a principal, I have organized many conclaves, many shows internally, externally, and I myself am a public speaker. I can juggle both languages well, Hindi and English, and I'm a public speaker and I'm an announcer also. And I can be a kind of a person who can organize a ceremony. I can visualize what is going to happen, and I can work as an instructional leader. So I can tell a person a piece of thing, what exactly you are going to do. Here, what you can visualize, the next step you need to keep in mind what is happening. And then that team working outside the school, the team working inside the school, can relate with each other. So what I want from the external people who are working for my school, the PR team, public relation officers outside the school, I want them to bring footfall, as many as possible. They need to keep outside the school, they need to keep a buzz. People must talk about it through social media, through people, different kind of conversing, different kind of marketing gimmicks. We are going to start with, we are going to throw into the market so that people online on the social networking sites, we become the doyen of the eye. People keep asking for us, people keep talking about us. Then PR handles outside world and the admission team inside the world. Admission team also has great responsibility. When they come, they need to understand what exactly they are going to speak to the prospective parent. They need to be an usher. I myself, as a principal, I become an usher and I take the hand of my prospective parent who could put his child, who could likely put his child into our school, and I become a host and walk them through the alleys and tell them what infrastructure our school has and what exactly we can dish out. Our school can be the kind of in the forefront of education. We use the latest technology and whatnot, which can become our USP. Next is when I talk about that what exactly we want to define to our parents when they come after this collaboration between inside the school team, admission team, and outside the school team, PR teams, what exactly they are going to talk about. We need to define our school philosophy. Every employee must know what the school philosophy is. Until we tell them that we are not just going to suck the blood out, we are not going to focus on minting money. We want to create a terra firma, a foundational stone we want to create here. We want to set a line for them so that they can come forward and believe in what we are saying. So we want to engage with them in a most holistic manner. Next thing, I hope I have finished with this. Next question, retention of students. When it comes to retention of students, I believe that the first thing I like to focus on academic performance, excellent academic performance. As an observer, when I go into my classes and I see my teachers teaching, I observe them. I become a person who does not interfere, who becomes a silent spectator and enjoys watching the teacher teaching. I don't interfere at all, and I keep noting down what are the pluses and what could be made more positive. So I never say that something is negative. I tell them that it could have been better. So I have been an observer. I understand what could be the ambience inside the class. So this is one of the finest things. Until we have a plan of teaching methodology inside the class, until we have a robust planning which is guided towards performance, the brilliant performance by the teachers, we really cannot win over our students. They cannot understand. It's a transaction. And we need to measure the students' performance. What are the measurements tools? How are we going to measure our students' credibility as a student? What kind of tests are being prepared? What kind of unit tests are being prepared by the teachers? What are our expectations from them? What is their expectation from the teacher? It means they should not have any kind of hesitant attitude. If they do not know anything, they must easily approach the teacher. So approachability is one of the factors that we keep talking about. Any teacher, if I'm walking around somebody, a student can come to this affable principle and can start talking. They can approach me. So if I do not broach a subject, if I do not invite them that come to me and ask me anything, then I talk about to cement our credibility as a wonderful principal and a teacher. I do one thing. I want my teachers to focus on symbiotic learning. Symbiotic learning simply means that you are not just going to talk about your own subject. It should be cross-curricular activity. And it has gained momentum in my previous job. 21st century is going to be, and we keep using this cliched statement, 21st century teaching. What exactly it is? It is symbiotic learning. So when I teach students, I do talk about physics. I mention chemistry. Usually I ask them that what is happening in litmus test? Have you passed your litmus test? And what about your acid test? And what about the centrifugal force? What about the mensuration? What about if I see like that, can you tell me? What are the similarities between a car and if I have a bucket full of water and I'm spinning that like that? What are the similarities? So we cannot hinge fully on one subject. When we teach, our teachers should bring in the whole world into the class. So next question, we need to, as a principal, I want to bring into my class, I want to earn for my students opportunities. So in my previous job, KIIT International School, it offers 3 syllabi, CBSE and International Baccalaureate and IGCSE. So what they can think of when they are going to graduate class 10th, graduate class 12th? Can they think of their professional journey? Many competitive examinations can help them achieve their own personal success. How they can prepare themselves? What after 12th? Are they standing at the roundabout knowing nothing about what is happening in the world? They cannot be a kind of a frog living in his own world. They cannot be cut off from the rest of the world. What is happening in the world, they must know. So we did provide in my previous organization, we were focusing on providing the students with different sorts of education system, coachings, CLAT, engineering, IAS, administrative services, and various other companies did come and they organized an ambience in the school itself. And then something beyond coachings, beyond academic, your own skills as a human being. So we had a different fashion, we had a different physiological, psychological, and we had a blend of activities happening in the school, a very usual scenario we create in our school. Now a wonderful question comes up, a brief example of how you have handled a parent concern. I feel that sometimes I have understood the mind of parents. I do not believe in playing ping pong game, that they come and they start, complaining about the school, that you people do not do anything. My ward is underperforming, has been underperforming for ages. I'm not satisfied with what you have spoken. What we are going to do? Are we going to irate? Are we ready to vent out our anger on this parent? Or are we going to just listen to them? So I'm a kind of expert in this when we have parents-teacher meet. What exactly a teacher is supposed to do? Listening. Bad listening is going to sprout something else. It is going to generate lack of confidence in the mind of parent. They are going to earn nothing but lack of confidence, a lack of trust, sense of mistrust and distrust. You're inviting that monster. And the more you invite it, the more it is going to, kind of creep into your soul, and it is going to infect the whole machinery of the school. Then we cannot commit something exaggerated promises. Never. Exaggeration is not going to is not going to help you pursue your goal. It is not going to help you as a teacher. It is not going to help the parent as a person who is beyond the boundaries of a school. So speak truthfully. Always keep data of your meetings with parents. It was a hard and fast rule that I created as a mentor in my previous job. And then I say that tool that I can use as a teacher, I can instill this thinking into the individual teacher that they must not delve deeper in the art of procrastination. No delay at all in submitting their reports to the concerned authority, and no delay making calls to the parents whenever they have time, whenever time allows them, keeping data of every conversation, not becoming a sniper as soon as they come to you during parents-teachers meet, and not playing ping pong games whenever the PTMs are organized, and no bad listening. Next is staff conflict. I think this is a plan that has really helped me in not only becoming a kind of referee if there was a conflict, but it helped me zero in on the situation. I was better placed, I was in a better situation to resolve the conflicts between teachers, amongst teachers, And then disciplinary issues. We did have a few disciplinary issues, but good listening and very empathetic, conversation with the students is going to help you pretty well. Experience working with school PRO or admission team. I have spoken a lot about this, and I think I can handle it without any hitch. I have organized, I think, quite a lot of seminars, workshops for the parents, for the teachers. One of them is extremely popular. It became a complete wildfire successfully. Hum aur Hamare Bacche. It was my figment of mind. It became a blockbuster. Lingua Franca, organized not only for the parents but also for the teachers. Even the teachers from the other schools participated in that. Lingua Franca. So I'm a public speaker, I'm a presenter, I can take the situation, I can hold the responsibility, I can shoulder the responsibility to speak to crowd regardless of the number of people who are going to appear in this seminar, workshop, or anything larger than that. And any initiatives you have introduced to improve academics or school culture. I started in my school Word Buddy, which was focusing on vocabulary, because whenever we think about our students, everybody cannot be equal, and communication is something that is a cross-curricular activity. How can you bring in physics when you are speaking about English? How you can use history when you are speaking about chemistry? So how can you use it as a habit? How can it become a daily feature for you? So I started it during our recess time. I started it during our assembly time. I invested 5 minutes in each period. I recommended to my teachers that they must go by the book, what I have spoken, what I have recommended, and it became a wildfire successfully throughout the teachers, not only the teachers but also the principal. He felt impressed with the modus operandi of the teachers, and Amit Kumar Sharma as a mentor involved himself in this methodology, in this practice. So it became a successful example throughout the school. Be my guest. It means a child is going to request a particular teacher, sir, please come to my class and become our guest of the day. You are going to be somebody that you shall review our class. You will become an spectator, and you shall see the class happening. You shall see the transaction, and you can tell how you liked the class, what was the best thing, what could be polished more. So when you have somebody's presence in your world, do you feel inspired and motivated, or you change your psyche and your persona? Global Educator is also one of the plays that I started working on, and the spotlight presentation I've spoken about. So many initiatives as a principal I rolled out in the schools that I have worked with. Next is current employment. I'm not working currently with any organization. I have been working on my own. I am working online for different organizations, and I don't have to serve any notice period. In November 2024, I stopped working and I started working online, and I'm involved in teaching and training now, and I'm ready to join any organization across India as a principal. And now my willingness to relocate, definitely I would love to relocate to the location regardless of the geography across India. I can do that, and I can join on 1st of June if everything goes fine. Thank you very much for this opportunity to transact something with you, and I hope if there are some more questions and you need more transparency, I'm at your disposal. Thank you very much. You have a great time ahead.